retro gamers, here we are once again taking a look at Gain Ground for the Sega Genesis. Yes, this is another Sega Genesis collection review, but unconfirmed rumors that it will be coming to the Wii Virtual Console, so stay tuned for more information about that. But this review is specifically for the Gain Ground on the Sega Genesis collection, available on the PlayStation 2 and the PSP. A lot of things I got to say about this game before we get into the actual review. First of all, this is a really innovative game. As you can see on the screen, you have different characters that you're either trying to get to the exit or trying to kill all the enemies on the screen. The round will end just as it did when you get all your characters that remain alive to the exit, or you kill everyone on screen. Also, there's a time limit you can see in the top left, so you got to keep your eyes on that as well. If you haven't caught on yet, this is definitely a strategy game, even though it looks like button masher. It's definitely not a button masher. This is a heavy strategy game. You're equipped with 3 continues to get through 50 levels. Now, this is the first round of the game, and this is primitive warfare right here. And as the levels progress, the warfare advances, like you're traveling through time, which is really, really cool. And once you get to the later levels, you'll see how the game changes and the weapons change. What you can see here is the little tiny character that was following me just then was a character that I was escorting off the screen that was added to my character inventory, which you can see in the left column, and it tells you which character you're currently using. It also tells you what weapon you're using and what direction the weapon can be shot in. So those are things you need to keep in mind when you're playing. This was originally an arcade title back in '88, and it was ported over to the Genesis in '92. It also saw some life on the Master System, but that port isn't nearly as good. Also, you're listening to the Gain Ground soundtrack, which is really top-notch. Really enjoy the soundtrack. Alright, let's get to the review. First, the good news. Always the good news comes first. This is a really innovative title that will keep you thinking throughout the game. Your strategy is going to change probably when the round changes as well. In the early gameplay, personally, I use the get to the exit strategy rather than kill all the characters, but in later rounds I changed my strategy as well, and that's one of the greatest things about this game, what really made me fall in love with the game. This mixes puzzles with action, which I'm always a fan of, which is always a great aspect for any game. And button mashing won't work. You can't just, this isn't a plug and play and just get it going right off the bat. Button mashing will not work in this one. Minimal repetitiveness, which is always a great thing. The boards are going to change, the enemies are going to change, so that's a great news. There's no slowdown in this, guys. None. I played the game for a good 2.5 hours today. Did not experience slowdown once, and that was on the PlayStation 2 Sega Genesis collection, so it's emulated perfectly if there was no slowdown on the Genesis. Here I'm using emulation, and I didn't experience any slowdown on that either. Amazing boss battles in this game. Did not show you any boss battles because I want you guys to stay surprised. The boss battles are really jaw-dropping. They're really a lot of fun. And the 2-player mode adds to the replay value. Not that it needed it, but if you're looking to play this with a friend, it's a lot of fun to play 2-player. I haven't done it yet, but honestly, this is the type of game where I would want to play 2-player, and as you can see, I'm escorting another character to the next board right now. Alright, a couple negative things to say about the game. Very challenging. So the challenge is probably going to turn off a lot of modern gamers that are going to get frustrated very easily. Also, like I said, this game is really strategy heavy, so the non-strategy gamers might get frustrated very quickly as well because they're not as experienced with the strategy aspect as much as strategy gamers are. And as you can see, the graphics are kind of bland. They're not that great, but honestly, the gameplay is probably going to turn your focus away from the graphics. So honestly, and I'll end my game right here, honestly, this is definitely worth checking out for all gamers. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. If you're a rad retro gamer, definitely check it out. Modern gamers might want to take a look at it.